But we're talking about more of a system that, taken in the whole, is coming to envelop pretty much all of early childhood. And that is where we start to have some very grave concerns.
You know, Linda, I'm sure that those budget people from the Senate said expansive. They meant expansive, that this legislation, if enacted into law, is designed to expand. And that means, broadening that net. There was somewhere in there that they referred to 400% of the poverty level. And in your email, you had referenced that as being, for a family of four, that would be an income level of $100,000. I mean, are we talking about when this legislation is expansive, that it is really meant down the road, if not, not initially, but down the road as the budget increases every year, to really include everybody?
It is for everybody. And that is the bill spells it out. The cards are definitely on the table and laid bare. This program is for everyone with the kind of funding that is being brought forth. And let me say, too, that government doesn't have to say, we're going to require these home visits, or we're going to require you to put your children into the schools by birth. They don't have to say it's a requirement or a mandate. All they have to do is come forward with a lot of funding and say this program is free. That's all they do. We saw it with kindergarten moving from half day to full day just a few years ago. Within a year's time, the entire state had moved to full day kindergarten. So
the carrot.
Yeah.
The carrot is that it's free.
It is. It's
and
free.
And then there's the I don't know if, for them to say, if you accept home visits, prenatally, that you have to stick with the program for 3 years. I can imagine a parent saying, look, I don't need this anymore. I'm fine. There was an issue at the beginning, but now we're fine. And, maybe there were concerns, or it was their first baby and, whatever. It's, now we're fine and we don't want it anymore. So what happens then? I know you can't answer that question. It's something parents should consider. When you start to tell the government no, you've already allowed them into your home, and you've already allowed them to evaluate who you are as a parent and how you're parenting. So do you have guns in the home? I can just see it going that route, because we've already seen it go that route. The other thing I wanted, go ahead.
Well, I was going to just say, what if you receive advisement on your parenting skills and you don't concur, you disagree, or as this goes down the road, the way this bill is written, it's written as an expansive program. It is to change society as it relates to families and young children, babies, the whole 9 yards. But it's very simply written. It doesn't go very deep into any issue, really. So that's to come, right?
Yeah. Folks, we're talking with Linda Bell tonight. Linda is with Minnesota Advocates and Champions for Children. Linda and her team of people have studied this legislation, and so if you're hearing about this for the first time and you're feeling a little bit incredulous, like, this can't be really, the state's going to go in and start visiting people before their baby's born, and then they're going to start visiting after the baby's born, and we're saying they're going to be all intrusive. I understand your incredulity, but I want you to know that we're not talking to somebody who hasn't looked at the details of this legislation and the other legislation that's tied to this legislation. And so we appreciate the work that Linda has done.